Point Z Vava TV. Good morning. This is Layne N speaking. How may I help you?
Good day. Hi, Miss Layne. I am Patrick and I am planning to start a restaurant and hotel business. I really need your help. Can you tell me how to eliminate hazard and risk in hospitality industry?
There are a lot of hazards and risks you may encounter when you are in the hospitality industry. Before I tackle to you the hazard and risks in the workplace and in food service operation, as a soon-to-be owner, you must also know the difference between hazard and risk. A hazard is something that can cause harm, and a risk is the chance, high or low, that any hazard will actually cause somebody harm. For your additional information, let me give you an example. Wet floor is the hazard, but when you pass by, this is what you call the risk. As worker in restaurant or hotel, stakeholder, owner, and hospitality student, you must know how to eliminate hazard and risk for the hospitality industry. For your information, there are 5 workplace hazards, such as physical and mechanical hazard, chemical hazards, biological hazard, psychosocial hazards, and economic risk factor. In physical and mechanical hazard, slips, trips, and falls, confined places, machine-related, extreme temperature, noise, electrical injuries are the good examples. While in chemical hazards are fire, conflagration and explosion hazards, solvent, petroleum, heavy metals, highly reactive chemicals, and fumes. The next hazard is the psychosocial hazards. This includes long working hours, bullying and harassment, aging workforce, precarious work contracts, increased worker vulnerability due to globalization, new norms of employment, feeling of job insecurity, work intensification, poor work-life balance, high emotional demands, and lean production and outsourcing. Heavy lifting, work above shoulder height, repetitive motions, and tasks with significant vibrant are some examples of ergonomic risk factors. To eliminate and prevent those hazards, first, we should follow and review valuable sources such as Occupational Safety and Health Administration, were originally had federal visitorial powers to inspect and examine workplaces. They standards and guidance hospitality industry's consensus standard must be followed. Next is National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, where they are responsible for conducting research and making recommendations for the prevention of work-related injury and illness. Publication and relevant information from professional association must be reviewed and known. Second, protect your worker with personal protective equipment, such as chemical resistance gloves used when cleaning with or handling chemicals, disposable waterproof gloves used when cleaning blood and other body fluids, work gloves used when handling garbage, landscaping, and working in storage areas. And the last one is cut resistance gloves used when cutting and equipment cleaning operations. When it comes in footwear, non-slip foot must be worn, used when working in and around kitchens, steel-toed boots used when operating landscaping equipment, and footwear with ankle support used when working outdoors. Next is observe personal habits and personal hygiene. The good example here are taking a bath every day, post warning signs, mechanical related and engineering controls, take administrative controls. seventh way to prevent and eliminate hazard and risk in workplace is to organize storage areas. Employees must be aware of proper posture, use safety lifting techniques, examine work activities that require heavy lifting, manual handling, and involves balance and posture. Conduct safety inspections regularly. This is to fix and to take an action immediately in on the dirty or broken PPE, poor maintenance of equipment, dull knives, electrical wires exposed or electrical outlets close to liquids, improper storage or materials, accumulation of liquid or grease on floors, lack of guarding on mixers and equipment, failure to put a sign or barrier near wet floors, and lack of visibility through swing doors. So now, you know how to eliminate and prevent hazard and risk on the workplace for the hotel industry. There are 4 hazards in food service operation. The first one is the biological hazard, chemical hazard, physical hazard, and the contamination. Did you know that there are more than 250 foodborne illnesses? Foodborne illnesses defined as disease, either infectious or toxic in nature, caused by agents that enter the body through the ingestion of food. Alcohols, radioactive substances, medication, agricultural chemicals or pesticides, natural plant toxins, animal toxins, and food additives are examples of chemical hazards. Physical hazards include toothpick, plastic, hair, pebbles, glass shards, and metal fragments and fabrics. The good examples in biological hazard in food service operations are fungi, bacteria, virus, prion, parasite, and helminths. Contamination. Contamination is a severe public health problem around the world, resulting in foodborne disease that affect human beings every year. Contamination is an unintended presence of a harmful substance in food. Cross-contamination is the transfer of harmful substances from one food to another through a non-food surface. Here are the prevention and elimination of hazards and risks in food service operation. First, the food handler must be healthy. Second, proper hand washing. Next, proper attire must be observed. Hair restraint, work clothes, footwear, facial mask, and gloves. Personal habit of food workers. For your additional understanding, personal habit of food workers includes taking daily baths. Wearing jewelry must be prohibited at all times. Wearing nail polish or false or artificial fingernails should not be allowed. Trimming of nails, shaving and haircut for meals must be observed. Wounds and cuts must be properly covered. Smoking and eating inside the kitchen should not be allowed. Hand washing is very important when we are in the food industry. Let me tell to you the proper hand washing. First, wet your hands. Apply soap. Wash your hands for 20 seconds. Rinse well. Dry your hands. And turn off water with paper towel. When you are tasting food, you must have a clean spoon. Never taste the food with the fingernails. Personal belongings should be stored in lockers or cabinets away from food preparation areas. Here are the prevention of foodborne illnesses. Food preparation stage. Refrigerate food promptly. Prevent cross-contamination. Handle food properly. Wash utensil before and after use with hot and soapy water. Wash dish towels and sponge weekly in hot waters in the washing machines. Food processing stage: 160 degrees Fahrenheit for pork, ground veal, and ground beef. 180 degrees Fahrenheit for whole poultry. 145 degrees Fahrenheit for roast, steaks, and chop of beef, veal, and lamb, and 165 Fahrenheit for ground poultry. Food storage stage: refrigerate food promptly. Maintain hot, cook food at 145 degrees Fahrenheit. Reheat cooked food to at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Refrigerate or freeze perishable, produced, prepared food, and leftovers within 2 hours. Never defrost food on the kitchen counter. Never let food marinate at room temperature. Marinate it. Also, divide large amounts of leftovers into small, shallow containers for quick cooling in the refrigerator. Remove the stuffing from poultry and other meat immediately and refrigerate it in the separate counter. Wash all unpacked and packed and not marked pre-washed fruits and vegetables under running water just before eating, cutting, or cooking. Do not overcrowd the refrigerator. Cool air must circulate to keep food safe. There are professional associations and governmental agencies that will help you to prevent and eliminate hazards and risks. First is the Occupational Safety and Health Administration that is originally had federal visitorial powers to inspect and examine workplaces. Next is the National Institution for Occupational Safety and Hazards, where they are responsible for conducting research and making recommendations for the prevention of work-related injury and illness. Code on Sanitation of the Philippines empower the Department of Health with the following powers and functions: undertake the promotion and the preservation of the health of the people, and raise the health standards of individuals and communities throughout the Philippines. International and national law. DOH or Department of Health. They are responsible for ensuring access to basic public health services by all Filipinos through the provision of quality health care and the regulation of all health services and products. Bureau of Food and Drugs. They are handles the registration of processed foods, drugs, medical devices, in vitro diagnosis, reagents, cosmetics, and household hazardous substance products. Hygienic safety and manufacturing practices, and Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point or HACCP. Codex Alimentarius Commission and Food Drug Administration. Safety. These days, workplace health and safety procedures are important for the well-being of both employees and employers because human loss is immeasurable and intolerable. As such, loss or injuries can employ major loss to the families. Life. God wants us to know more than anything that life is a precious gift. Life is to be cared for, stewarded, treasured, but above all, seek God. As soon to be an owner of a Italian restaurant, employers, workers, stakeholder, hospitality student, always remember, at the end of the day, the goals are simple: safety and security. That's all for today, sir. I hope you learned something from me, and I hope that it will help you.
That's informative. It was exactly what I needed. I want to learn everything that I can, and what you provided me will help to get me started. Thank you so much. You are great and I really appreciate your effort.
You are most welcome, sir. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Nothing else. I'm inviting you to visit my restaurant and hotel soon. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir. Good luck to your business and have a pleasant day. Point. Z. Baba.